News Radio 700 WLW.
We were talking about this off the air a little while ago, and it's just, and patents always, intellectual property and all that stuff, and where fights about this stuff come from always kind of fascinate me, you know.
Yeah.
And this is a case where Lego is coming down on a police department in California. And well, let's get our guest. It's always a pleasure to have this guy on. He is the patent professor. He is John Rizvi. So John, as always, welcome back. And would you explain what Lego is doing here with this police department? Because it's if it wasn't so weird, it would be very, very funny.
Yeah, well, I had about 100 years ago when I was in law school, I had a professor say that all the exam questions come from real life because real life is weirder than anything they could possibly make up. And that's the case here. I mean, the first question is, why is the police department putting Lego blocks on mugshots? And the reason for that, and it makes sense, is back in 2022, California passed a number of laws to protect those that have been arrested from negative fallout from the mugshots. Because remember, just because you're arrested doesn't mean you're guilty under the U.S. system of justice. You're innocent until proven guilty. But if your mugshot's out there, you're going to have a hard time finding a job. You're going to have all kinds of negative repercussions that don't go away when you're found not guilty, because that the mugshot stays up there. So this California Police Department wanted to still they were under pressure to post stuff on social media, I guess, to show that they're working. So they would do things like mugshot Mondays, wanted Wednesdays, and the residents when they stopped because of this law, the residents of the city requested what they called the weekly roundup, so they could see who all was arrested. The police department had an idea that, hey, let's put the mugshots up and the pictures of arrests and whatnot, and let's just put a Lego block on covering their face so that there's no negative harm to the person that's arrested. Well, sure enough, there's no negative harm because you can't identify the person that's arrested. But guess who came forward and said, wait a minute, we are harmed by this? And that was the Lego company. They said,
crazy, man.
Of all the things you could have picked, they're probably like, why not pick a Starbucks coffee cup, or why not pick a McDonald's M? Why did you pick this Lego block? Because they don't want to be associated with criminals. And they had a really strong case because it's under trademark law. It's trademark dilution. If it's a famous mark, you cannot negatively tarnish the image of a trademark, and the police department took it down. So that's the strange story. Just when you think things are, couldn't get stranger, we see this, and this is a repeat of another strange thing from a few weeks ago, that Donald Trump's new sneaker that came out with red bottomed soles on it, which look like Christian Louboutin shoes, and there's concern there that there would be an issue as well. So far, we haven't heard anything, but it's the same thing. Like Christian Louboutin did not, their defense would be, or their action would be for trademark dilution if infringement's not found, saying, hey, yes, we understand the public doesn't think these tennis shoes or sneakers are from our company, but it's hurting our image because it's, people are going to assume that we are Trump supporters because we have this, he has this shoe. Anyway, this is trademark dilution. It's something a lot of people aren't aware of. They think as long as there's no confusion as to the source of a product that you write about, that there's no risk under trademark law. That's not the case.
John, the picture with the Lego in the mugshot is absolutely hilarious, and it's a frowny face kind of, so it kind of makes you feel bad for the guy it's a likable face is what I mean for the Lego face. So Lego actually has a leg to stand on for this lawsuit.
They do. They absolutely do. And that's and a really strong leg to stand on, which is why the police department didn't. They probably then ended up getting legal advice. Think of this: the police department getting legal advice, but trademark law is it's not criminal law, so I guess they can't be held to have known this. I still believe they should have known, or at least consulted with someone before they chose.
Yeah.
We're talking to John Rizvi, the patent professor, and John, let me ask you: in a company like Lego, or do they have? I assume this comes through the legal department, but do these guys always just kind of comb the internet, social media, and whatnot, looking for trademark violations? Because this seems kind of an obscure thing to hop on.
It is, and there are companies routinely, large companies, they hire trademark monitoring services that look for others that are filing a trademark too close to theirs, and that's something easy to check for. There's a database. This is not easy to look for. It's not normal, which is why the police department got away with it for years. Well, remember, this is 2022 when they started posting Lego, and it didn't send out a cease and desist letter until last week. So the police department had a good run with posting mugshots and arrest videos with Lego heads, but that's all come to an end. But they're still under some fire because, after all, this is taxpayer-supported staff, and from the resident standpoint, is there nothing better that police department staff have that they could be doing to protect residents than using Photoshop and digital graphic stuff and doing this on to redact the mugshots? Because they don't have to post the mugshots online on their social media. So it's funny that there's so much, private companies are under social media to get more views, more likes, more comments, but you don't think that police departments would be, but they are, because this is how they show that they're working, is that they show how many arrests they've made, and they love posting mugshots. But then when the law came out, it said you can't reveal someone's identity because they're innocent until proven guilty. Somebody had the idea that, well, you know what? I don't know why they picked a Lego block, but they said, let's just post them with a Lego block on their head. You know
what's funny? I lived in Marietta, California. That's where this is taking place, the Marietta Police Department. Yeah. It is a very, very clean and safe community, too. It actually, I used to call the inland part of the Inland Empire, and I used to call it the Midwest of California. Temecula, Marietta, Redlands, San Bernardino is a little bit tougher, but Marietta and Temecula, which are cities right next to each other in California and SoCal, it is a very clean, safe neighborhood. So I don't know that they have a ton to do in Marietta. Maybe that's why they got a little bored and started playing with the Lego heads.
Well, and you mentioned this picture of the guy that you said, it's easy to feel sorry for him.
With the yellow, with the frown, yeah.
Yeah, but talk about a really clean-cut looking criminal as well. It's like a nice plaid, full-sleeve shirt.
He's got a nice button-up shirt, exactly.
A buttoned-up shirt. You can go to church wearing something like that.
Nobody's going to be afraid of this criminal here.
Well, so in case you're thinking about leaning on the Lego franchise, let it alone, because Big Lego is watching you. John Rizvi, it is always a pleasure, sir. Thank you so much for being with us.
Love being here. Thank you.
Thank you. John Rizvi, the patent professor.